Okay, now that we've got some products in our warehouse, we need to distribute these out to some of our stores. So let's start off with our first one. We're just going to do a very simple transfer now from our distribution centre out to store one. So a minute ago we created our purchase from our supplier for our product A's, and we've now got 50 in the distribution centre. So what we're going to do is take from distribution centre and put into store one's transit location, i.e. on the truck, and then that will automatically create the receipt using the push rule we created to go and create that receipt order for store one. So let's do that. So let me go to my overview. And I can see here what I want to do is I'm going to push from the DC out to stores. So let's get into that one. So I'm going to create a new action here. This is going to be a new transfer, I should say. So we're going to move it from the operations type. You'll notice here is listed as the DC to stores, which is the one we clicked on. The source location is going to be somewhere within our warehouse, DC warehouse, and the default location is stock, but it could be wherever. And at the top level here, we've got the transit location. So this means out of here, I can actually pick out any of my stores. So I'm going to say this is going to store one. So out of my stock and into store one. Then we're going to add my product in here, and I'm going to send, let's say 5. All right. So this is still in draft state, so we're not reserving anything, we're not doing anything, and so that's why we've got our forecast little button here is still red, because we haven't really done anything yet. And we're going to come back to do packages in a later session, but for the moment we're just going to move some stock around. So once we do a mark as to do, this is now a proper delivery that we've got to make, and you'll notice here that it went and checked and reserved some stock, and that's why the forecast is now green, because we've actually reserved the stock for this transfer. So source, destination, location are correct. What I can do here is they click on this little, what they call a hamburger button, and I can actually go and see my details about this particular transfer. If I need to change anything for any reason, I can do that in here. Maybe I want to pull from two different locations, whatever. I'm not going to get into all that right now, and we'll come back to packaging later, as I mentioned. So this is almost pretty ready to go. So I'll validate this to say we're going to, okay, truck arrives. Let's go and put these 5 on the truck. So validate. So now this is in transit to the destination, because this is complete. And I can see the next transfer here is we can go to that, but I won't, because normally you wouldn't do that. If I was in distribution center 1, sorry, in the DC, I'd be putting on the truck and that'd be the last I'd see it. And really the people at the store would then see it when the truck arrived. So let's go back to our overview and see what it did. So this has created a receipt for store 1 that it's coming into. So what's happened here is that, let me bring it back up. At the moment, the product is here in the transit location, but because we set up that automatic push rule, that when a product arrives here, it creates this receipt order for the product coming in, and that's exactly what we wanted to do. So we've got that working perfectly. So truck arrives at store one, and so the people at store 1 would then go and receive those products in, and so they would come in here and see this is that validation, or to validate this transfer of the 5 products into their stock. And again, this is where it's going to go, is into somewhere in stock. But if I've got multiple locations set up, I can pick out which one I want to go to. And line by line, I can go through and click on the hamburger button and put it in a different location if I had other locations set up here. I don't, I've only got the one. But I can go line by line and adjust those. Likewise, if product A had any put away rules or anything set up, it would automatically take those into account and automatically put it into the right location for us. But as I said, that's out of scope for this particular video. Yeah, you can try that out for yourself to prove that it does work. So let me validate this and we're done. So we've now made our first transfer from our DC to store 1. Go back to the overview and everything's good. There's nothing outstanding. It's all good. Let's now go and have a look at our products. And I can see we've still got 50 of these overall within our entire business, because I'm looking at the entire business here. I'm not looking at any particular branch or store. And I click on the 50 we've got on hand, and I can see I've got 45 in our main DC, and I've got 5 out at store 1. So that's exactly what we wanted to do. We took the 50, we took 5 of those 50 and sent them to store 1. So that's our first step complete.